down near the Embarcadero, near the ferry terminal. There are various people selling trinkets and whatnot, open-air market. And one of them is a caricaturist. The $3.99, he'll do you a 1-minute portrait. You know the kind that do a sketch of you like at Fisherman's Wharf, or you know where you are. So I watched this guy do it. He was very fast and very good. And for the first time in my life, I don't know what it was, I was tempted to spend the $10 and say, do me a quick portrait. I don't know what it was. I didn't do it. But I wake up this morning, and there's a quick portrait of me with a mouth I'm not sure about. So when I come back on the Savage Nation, I'm going to play a piece for you from the New Yorker, from the podcast of the article, right here on the Savage Nation. Later on, we'll do politics. Shall I start reading the article? Wait a minute. Hold it. I'll read you a few sentences, because many of you don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Even in this world of born-again refuseniks, Michael Savage is an anomaly. A heretic among heretics, nearly as contemptuous of his fellow radio stars. He refers to Limbaugh as the golfer, and calls Beck the hemorrhoid with eyes, as he is of President Obama. He calls himself a genuine independent conservative, which is a kind of sales pitch, and apparently an effective one. His daily broadcast, The Savage Nation, is one of the most popular shows in the country. Then they go on, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to skip around here because some of this stuff made me laugh hysterically. The stuff about the dog is just funny, about me wanting to cook Teddy's leg. Not that I want to cook Teddy's leg. Like if I was starving to death and we're both going to die, sort of like a Sophie's Choice thing. Would you cook your dog's leg since you're both going to die anyway?
Don't make a difficult time tougher. If your inheritance is stuck in probate, we can advance you the cash you need in as little as 72 hours. Visit inheritancefunding.com or call 877-YOU-AIR. That's 877-YOU-HEIR.
These guys are so hilarious. I almost drive off the road every morning.
Armstrong and Getty. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW.
WOR land in New York. George, welcome to the show. George, so you grew up a white guy in Hell's Kitchen or near Chinatown?
Chinatown, in Chinatown.
Are you Italian?
No, sir.
No, because that's right where Little Italy meets Chinatown on what, Canal Street?
Yeah, I was over a little more west by Henry and Pike.
All right, so how did your family wind up living in what's called Chinatown?
Well, my parents, I'm first generation American. My parents immigrated from Germany just after the war. And they had to take anything.
You mean World War which? 1 or 2?
Two.
So you're born in 46, 47?
47.
Oh, so you're a kid born there. They took whatever they could get, right?
Exactly.
So how did you fit in being born then with Chinese kids? Did they accept you?
Absolutely. My best friend was a Chinese. Well, one of my best friends was a Chinese family who lived on the same floor in the sixth floor walk-up tenement.
Right. What I'm getting at by your story is that by the liberal stories today, you should have hated each other. That till they came along with the Great Society, every race hated each other till the white liberal showed up, when the exact opposite is true. The races got along better until the white liberal came along and turned races against each other.
That's right. We had a mixed neighborhood. We had Italians, we had Jews, Germans, Chinese, you name it, they were there. And everybody got along. Everybody's mother watched everybody else's kid. There was a
Isn't that amazing? Well, there's a piece of American history, George, that needs to be written about to a great extent, because the liars who tell you that America was a land of hatred till they came along, the communist white man, till the communist white man came along, that we were living in hell in America.
No. I won't agree with that. And the only other reason, I've been listening to you for over 10 years, and right now talking to you is almost as good as sex. Okay?
Oh, well, please, this is a family show, George. I didn't know you were going to go there.
Well, anyway, you love dogs. I've had dogs since I was 7 years old. And
I do. Have you read my book, Psychological Nudity?
No, I've been trying to get it, but right now...
I'm going to send you a free copy, particularly the story, Tippy dies and thrown in a garbage truck. When your dog died when you were a kid, did they throw him in a garbage truck like Tippy?
No, sir. No, sir. We had a funeral attendance of 15 people, and the vet threw everybody out of the office.
You know, it's amazing. So I came from a very unusual background, to say it in a... So no, I thought everyone threw their dog in a garbage truck when it died. I must have had a weird family.
No, not at all.
Harsh. Whoa, I had a harsh upbringing. I had no idea. Between the cyanide and throwing a dog in a garbage truck when it died, I thought everyone did that.
Mr. Savage, could I please just tell you this? She was a 140-pound Rottweiler.
Oh, boy.
And
wow.
She was the most gentle creature. And she...
Well, I love with the women and the feminists in San Francisco. They walk around with Rottweilers like that. They come up to men and they sniff your crotch and you're scared to death they're going to tear them off. And they say, don't worry, she's gentle. And then, you know, in between your leg. Yeah, we're all gentle. No, I don't go for that. I'm sorry. Thanks for the call. I'll keep them on the line for the book. I don't believe there's such a thing as a gentle Rottweiler. To strangers? Are you kidding me? My dog is gentle, but even he's capable of being a dog. You try to take away a toy from Teddy, even he goes atavistic on you. And a pair of back teeth on him, and you understand how they survived all those years. They got a pair of sharp teeth in the back. They could rip your hand off. When you think about it, you say, is a small dog potentially dangerous, 10 pounds? By himself, no. But 10 of them coming at you? Yeah, a mosquito. Think of what a mosquito could do with you carrying a bacteria. Okay? So you say, why? Anything can harm you. It gets you in the right spot. But the Chinese were smart in the bedrooms, the emperor's bedrooms, where they had 10, 20 Lhasa Apsus trained to kill. Because one big dog, the enemy, the assassin, could kill like a person. They could cut its throat. But 20 Lhasa Apsus barking and screaming and yapping and coming at you in every direction, that's almost impossible even for a ninja to... And by that time already, the guards are there, you see. That's how that worked. So if you're thinking of watchdogs, I would suggest lots of small ones.
Savage. With Savage, you never know what to expect, and that's why you listen to his show every day.
The Savage Nation. Talk 910 KNEW. Listening to an encore segment of Michael Savage.
Last summer, I wrote Psychological Nudity, which were all of my radio stories, One Armed Frank, etc. I'm going to take requests of which story you would like me to read to you of the Michael Savage radio story list, the playlist. Is it My Silent Brother, The Electric Blue Saddle Stitch Pants, Fat Al's Tuna, Nutty Friend, Crazy Mother, Coney Island Wax Figures, Dead Man's Pants, Tippy the Mad Dog, Woodchuck Bill, Happy and Sad Cufflinks, When Pasta Was Spaghetti? Was it First Autopsy? Was it Talking to a Bum About God? Was it Working on Cruise Lines? Was it Love by the Sewer Plant? Was it From Immigrant Son to Radio Stardom? Or any of the other favorites? Because they're all in Psychological Nudity, and I'd rather read them to you for a little bit before we get back to politics. I'll read one. Here's one. I like Walter Cronkite and Purgatory of Manhood by Cyanide. So here's what I wrote. Who did I actually like in mainstream news? Let me just run on this for a minute. I did like Walter Cronkite because he had a deep voice and a mustache. He reminded me of an Italian dentist that I knew in the Bronx. You always had to behave yourself when you were around guys with mustaches like that because they could do weird things to you if you didn't. Cronkite was a very authoritative man, and how he presented the world is how I thought the world was. I might be eating steak and French fries and cherry vanilla ice cream on a TV tray, building up my negative cardiac profile while Dad was working. I'd be watching Cronkite. I had no idea what he was talking about. You see, kids don't really know what the news is, nor does the average adult really pay that much attention. I think we give media people too much power by thinking people really listen to their every word. Every time they put out another fib, I became incensed. Oh, look what they said. Look at the phony poll about Obama. But the fact is that they don't have that much direct influence on the average person. I get excited because I can see what they're doing, but do you? Dad would walk in at 6:30 at night, white from a day in the store. He might just have fought his way home through a snowstorm in his big green DeSoto. And here is his number one son getting fat, watching television, eating steak and cherry vanilla ice cream. He's starving and there's no food for him. I don't have to tell you what flashed through his eyes, my mother's, my mother's eyes, and the dog's eyes. He never thought I'd amount to anything. The arguments we would have, my God. You're ruining the kid. Look what you're doing. You're making him soft. You've got to make a kid hard, he used to yell. Look what you're doing to the kid. You're making him a weakling. He'll never amount to anything. He's soft. Look at him. Over there eating that steak and ice cream. He was probably starving at that point. He got home with the slush and galoshes, snow over the top, and his worst nightmare came true. His wife was catering to his son. Then I go on. The guy comes back from the hunt, and what's going on in the cave? The woman he is married to is cooking for the child who has done nothing that day but go to school. And look at girls. So it was soon thereafter that the whole soft life came to an end. No more ice cream, no steak, no TV trays. I was forced to go into his store's basement on Ludlow Street to clean bronzes. That's the beginning of my purgatory and my manhood. You know, this is very good writing. I was too close to it last year to realize how good this is.